my goodness. Nathan Taylor all wide open for a breakaway. He scores on the backhand. Down here, that makes a glorious save right there. Oh, Carlo. Oh, what? Oh, what a save. Oh my God, what a save. What is this? What is this? Oh, yeah. Got it. Jake has gotten his first NHL win. Here we go. This is a staple. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel for another Goalie Be a Pro with our goaltender, Jake Anderson. Well, obviously we're going to be going against the San Jose Sharks. As I said in the previous video, our management did absolutely nothing during the trade deadline. There's very, very small hope that we can make the playoffs. I said in the last video, like I said in the last video, sorry I had to do the tether thing. Like I said in the last video, we just need to get more wins, and not all of it goes on our starting goaltender. It does go on to our players, but our starting goaltender could be a little bit better, considering I'm a way low overall. I'm above 500, and last I checked, our save percentage and goals against average are similar. Mine are worse, obviously, but oh god, but they're still similar. So I haven't checked them from the last video, so I might do it sometime during this video or before I start the next video. So I'll have a little bit more of an update on the stat situation. I have not checked record books to see if there's anything I'm close to, so I might take a glance at that real quick just to be on the safe side. Maybe we got like close to shutouts, and that goal was way out of position. Wow. All right. I guess that's how you guys score on the San Jose Sharks goalie. Just get him way out of position, and he has no idea what the fuck to do. But we certainly, for our position here, we usually can help out with some wins, considering we're above 500. So between the two goaltenders, we definitely have a better percentage at getting said win. But the other teams that we're close to be battling with, we need them to lose. But the more wins we get, the better chances are that when they lose, we can take advantage of that. And I don't know why that happened, but okay. So, recording this video now that it's at this point, NHL playoffs. What can I say? I think I want to start off with my favorite team, and I think most people have gathered which one is my favorite team by now. We're gonna go with the Nashville Predators versus the Vancouver Canucks. Why the Canucks put Casey DeSmith in over Demko, I'm not sure about. I don't know if Demko's was hurt or just really tired, needed a break, which I completely understand. It's playoff hockey. But if you didn't have anything legit of why they put Casey DeSmith in, I'd have to admit that was a huge mistake. But I guess things could be worse for Vancouver going into Game 3. We could be down by 2, so I guess we gotta look at the bright side. But I really just hope that they don't put Casey DeSmith in again, unless it's we're up by like 3 games, and you just want to throw them in to get a little bit of a playoff game in there, that's fine. I do that in franchise mode in this game. Kind of want to do a franchise mode for this channel, speaking of that, but with these two and trying to post every single day and wanting to get a different game out there for content, it's just not in the books right now. So we'll definitely work on that here in the future. I think I might have came up with a game plan of how to get things all worked out. You know, the day I'm recording this, I've already recorded like 3 videos for math. So I haven't edited them yet, but they're recorded. So if I can get ahead of the game where I don't have to worry about like recording and editing a lot of videos in a short amount of time, it's like, this is all right. Like I spent a day here recording. Tomorrow I don't think I will have much of a chance to record, but I'll have chances to edit some videos, which I can spend tomorrow doing. I have tomorrow's video already lined up. Hell, I have Saturday's video lined up, so you know, on that front we're pretty good. But you know, I think it was a bad decision to put Casey DeSmith in, just my opinion. I guess I should try maybe going over to the Dallas Stars one, because that's one that I've been keeping a pretty close eye on with the Vegas Golden Knights. What's up with the Western Conference champions? You know, I've talked to a Dallas Stars fan. I talked to her on X. You know, I went in as a Western Conference team, a team that was looking to win the conference championship or title or whatever in the regular season, and missing out on it by only like a point or 2 or whatever it was. You know, I went in and I was like congratulating her on her team and things that, not that I would have to. It's not like she played a part in them winning that championship, but like just trying to be a nice fan to a fan, and you know, maybe try to find a mutual ground of talking hockey and enjoying a game of hockey. You know, the game of hockey, and you know, maybe we can get into better talks and not just about her team and my team. You know, maybe we can get into talks about like just NHL history in general. But when I congratulated her, I was like, yeah, Demko got hurt. You know, our backup's not. I'm not saying Casey DeSmith is a bad goaltender. Like it might have sounded like that when I said it was a bad decision to put him in the net in game 2. He's not a bad goaltender. Just not our strongest goaltender to possibly win a championship. Even win a playoff game. So regular season he struggled, and unfortunately when he struggled, Demko wasn't around to maybe carry that load of that burden a little bit more. But you know, she's kind of right. Her team found a way to win games when their goaltender was injured. For some reason his name is Ottinger. I was gonna say his name is eluding me at the moment, but it's Ottinger. You know, when he was hurt, and if your team can find ways to win games, you're right. Then that means you deserve to win the Western Conference title in the regular season. But then, you know, no offense to her, but she kind of got a little braggy. So I was like, okay, you know what? One of the last people to ever get kind of like cocky, naggy kind of thing like that. Kind of got a little chirpy, a little overconfident. Was my aunt. And we were talking about the WHL and the CHL playoffs at the time. And my Vancouver Giants in the WHL championship ended up losing to the Medicine Hat Tiger Cats to to win, right? So we lost to them, but because both of our teams got into the finals in the WHL playoffs, we automatically get put into the Memorial Cup playoffs for the CHL. If you don't know how that works, and I was like, okay, you know what? Win the WHL playoffs, you win the battle, but there's still the Memorial Cup, which is the war. And to be honest, I told her, I go, you won the battle, but you're not going to win the war. Vancouver's going to win the Memorial Cup. And that year, Vancouver won the Memorial Cup. So I told her, I go, okay, well, you know what? You won the battle, but that doesn't necessarily mean you won the war yet. And now if we're talking about the Dallas Stars and the Nashville Predators, you kind of know where I'm going with this. They're now down by 2 games. They lost both games at home. Not good. I believe Don Cherry once said that if you lose at home during the playoffs, you're in trouble. Now, my team has lost at home in the playoffs, but we didn't lose 2 games in the playoffs. So, and then she left a video on Twitter, and I'm not gonna repeat everything that she said. I'm not even gonna quote anything from it. All I'm gonna say is, if your team was down 2-0 in the playoffs, if that's where they are right now in the playoffs, just think of how you feel right now. You're probably kind of pissed off. You're kind of hoping that, like, hey, man, you guys can play better than this. You know? That's where she's at right now. She wants her team to smarten up, play better in the next game, and start winning some games. They're better than this. And to be honest, I agree with her. Between the 2 teams, her team is the better team. But the one thing that I guess you can say is kind of statitious, is how I like to put it. Between the 2 teams in their history, especially recently, the Golden Knights are grinding. They have heart. If they want to win the cup, they're going to do everything in their power to win that cup. I just don't think that Dallas is going to turn theirs on in time to make a fight for the series. And unfortunately, you know, when fans start getting a little chirpy in their comments to other teams that are in the playoffs and everything, you know, you guys might want to think about what you're saying before you say it, because you might just have to eat your words. And I'm not saying my team's going to go out there and win the cup. I can tell you right now, there's probably like 1 in like 60 million chance that my team's going to win the cup. But I like the fact that I can see them doing well. And I think we can beat the Predators. But we can't keep putting Casey DeSmith in games, man. That's what's going to hurt us. And the way that Dallas is playing in theirs, not playing absolutely horrible, but making some bad decisions in bad areas, is really what's going to get you guys down. Because those Golden Knights, you make a mistake, they are going to capitalize on that. That's the thing with their team. Dallas, if they can get a controlled game going, right? I think they can take control of those games and win the series. But you're letting heart take over your skill of management in their zone, management at getting chances. You know, they're just getting you. And their goalie has been very hot, very hot. And that's going to be another issue with a lot of teams in the playoffs. I'm not going to get into every single series, because I haven't really paid attention to every single one. Those are the two that I have been. I know Carolina's up 2 games. If I think the same thing with the Islanders as Dallas. You know, if they can turn on their game and really capitalize on their game, I think they're going to become. I think they can win their series, but I think I'm just going to sum up a lot of these series. I'm going to sum up a lot of these series before the end of game 1 here. Pretty much all of them. A lot of it is going to be depending on what teams take control. If goalies can steal games, if they can steal the entire series by taking absolute control and being on fire, that's what's going to win these series and all of these teams in the first round. And I'm even going to say that for Toronto. For you Toronto fans out there, on the west side, for Vancouver, I know what you feel. I know your pain. I wouldn't say we have a curse, but yeah. Anyway, we'll see you guys in game number 2. Welcome everybody to Wells Fargo Center here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the Chicago Blackhawks have come into this game with some good news and some bad news. For Jake Anderson, bad news first. He's not going to be breaking any records for the franchise as a rookie or at the NHL. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. The good news is nobody in the league has currently, coming into this game, has clinched a playoff spot. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to get to the top of the league and win the President's Trophy. No. But if none of the top teams in the league have clinched playoff spots, means this Blackhawks team has a chance. And looking at everything, we do. The 2 wild card holders have 81 and I believe 78 points, I believe, something like that. The Chicago Blackhawks and the St. Louis Blues currently have 76 or something like that. We're super close. So, if we can keep winning games, that includes our starting goaltender, where I didn't check the stats coming into this game, but I did check basically right after the last game, and there's some neutral news on that. He definitely has a better save percentage. We had an 874, he had a 903. But we had a 327 goals against average. He had a 322. So the goals against average are pretty much close. He gets the better save percentage because he's been able to deal with more shots. But the overall picture I'm wanting to look at here is there's a possible postseason for the Chicago Blackhawks with 12 games. From what I looked at, oh my God, O'Reilly, that was a super snipe. That was like a laser beam snipe shot. What the man? But see, we need to get more wins, and I'd really like to go into the playoffs, even if we get kicked out in the first round. Going into the playoffs, at least as a rookie, we can feel strong that we help make it to the playoffs. Should give us a little bit of a stat boost, the fact that we make the playoffs. So let's hope that the teams here are smart enough. Oh my God, what a rebound by Jesse Pullman Harvey. Well, maybe not mine, but his, you can. You might like it. But man, what a goal. What a way to put it on net there at Santa Ana. See you. Now we're starting to get a little bit more better points, but with 12 games left, it's not some high numbers, but maybe we could do that. Maybe we could pull off the St. Louis Blues where we ended up like at the bottom of the league, and we've battled ourselves back, get a playoffs, possibly shoot for the playoffs here. If we make the playoffs, maybe we could like drive all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. So you know what? I think it's battle time. I think it's time to put Jake's battle helmet on here and start battling. Maybe show the coach that playoff starting goaltender's right here in the net right now, sitting right in front of you, Mr. Jake Anderson here. Which, by the way, everybody, I realized a few things looking up. Like almost like looking up my own channel, like the tags that I use. Does my channel pop up, my videos pop up, and things like that. I don't know just yet if I'm changing the name of Crow's Nest Gaming. It's still gonna be Crow's Nest Gaming, but I might shorten it down to like CNG. On top of that, Jake's last name is potentially going to change. So I think I might have a storyline for that, so then we can reintroduce Jake in later NHL series down the road. But right now we're gonna have to stick with Anderson. I don't know what his last name's gonna be yet. Maybe we might put a little twist in there and find out that Jake and Mav are actually brothers. And trust me, I have ways of maybe making some of this stuff seem normal. So stay tuned to see how maybe I can get this done. I'm gonna do my hardest to make sure I can get this to go through. Oh, way to keep that out, Jake. How I could do this is I could throw Jake into Arc, because in Arc, if people know Arc, you know the storyline, you know what technically happens. Basically, what's gonna happen is, for their storyline, I guess in a way I could be dumbing it down a little bit so things aren't so complicated. What they do is, when people die in their story mode, it's almost kind of like reincarnation. Almost, they're able to take their mind and their body shape and everything and put them into a whole new body and consciousness, and they do this numerous times. So if you have a character named John, right, and John ends up dying in action, what they'll do is they'll grab him and then throw him onto a different arc. I guess you can say, are like different worlds, but they're all connected. They just don't know it until like later on. But your gist of it for what I'm going for is, I'm gonna make it so hopefully in this be a pro, and hopefully somewhat quickly, maybe we can get a Stanley Cup win under our belt. And unfortunately, if we do win a Stanley Cup, Jake's only going to win one. Once Jake wins one Stanley Cup, this series is going to be over. Or if NHL25 arises first, either way, I will see if I can intertwine Jake into Arc, and then we'll find a way to like pull him out of Arc and back into this reality and go from there. Kind of stealing a little bit of an idea from Ryan Gamer. he has Ryan Gamer for like every single type of video he does that creates his own name and character and everything. Golf, football, hockey, baseball, you know. But I don't necessarily want Mav to be, or Jake or Mav even, to be the character in every single series. I want to introduce new characters and play their characters off like as a role play, and for you guys to get to know a character, their background. Maybe we can even build a background to these characters if you like them, right? So that's the way it's gonna work here. Well, that's an idea of how I want things to work. Depending on what games we play, depending on if I can intertwine some of them here and there. So, but that's just an idea of how we can maybe like change his name for when the new game comes out, and then we can reintroduce him again. But maybe next time in the next NHL game, NHL 25 there, if they can still make females and be a pro, maybe next time we'll do a little story mode with a female. If there's a position you guys want to see this female play, let me know down in the comments. Getting about halfway through the second game. If you guys are liking what you guys are hearing, you guys are liking the content, I'd really appreciate if you guys hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm on YouTube, and it'll really help to grow the channel, which would mean a lot to me. I'd really like to get to 500 subscribers. That's my first goal set, and I'd really like to hit that. So please help me out with that. Share it with your friends. You know, stay tuned. I really do have a lot of really good ideas for content, and you know, just getting this started, trying to like post every single day. I just posted the monthly game actually. To be honest, I'm really hoping to possibly get into playing that again here really soon. If I can get the mass recordings for NHL Be a Pros here for Mav and Jake, it just means that I get a little bit more time to be able to go and play that game again, the Immortals. Oh jeez. I'll be able to play that game a little bit more. That game really did interest me. So if you saw that one, thank you for viewing it. If you haven't, go take a look. I think I might be making a series out of it for sure. I really appreciate the graphics, you know. You almost look at I guess in a way you can see the work ethic that the company had. You can see their standards, you know. They had high standards for the game, and if they did have high anticipations and standards for that game, to be honest, it's absolutely mind-blowing graphics. I loved every single minute of graphics that I saw, even through cutscenes. Actually, oh, that sucks. Just gonna say, to be honest, you can't really, from time to time, almost tell if it's a cutscene or if it's the gameplay. To be honest, it's actually really good. It's really well done. Storyline, I'm not saying for me necessarily that you would have to dumb down the storyline, but that's a storyline that you really gotta pay attention to, and it's also a game that even when you're not in a cutscene, they're still talking and it's still the story. You really need to pay attention. To be honest, I really hope that he doesn't mind. So if he ever does actually view this, please, if I did it in the wrong way to to maybe get you to be able to see this. I'm gonna have to say that I think I would like to see Aspro from Neebs Gaming play that Immortals game. I don't think I'll tag him in this one. I'll probably tag him in the actual video, so then he can actually see the gameplay and everything. I'd really like to see him play this. I think he'd really, play that game. I think he'd really appreciate it. He's a guy that appreciates good programming, and so far from what I've seen, I haven't really seen any glitchy looking cutscenes or gameplay. To be honest, being thrown into that boss fight, that was just absolute mayhem for like the first like 5 to 10 seconds. And that is 100% complete honesty. Eventually I lost track of the boss that I had to basically do your main concentration on. But just getting used to the firing, the aiming, doing it quickly with all those other guys, really decent, good practice. I kind of enjoyed getting like just thrown right into it like that. It was just like, wow, no training whatsoever. It was just right into the battle, and I really appreciated it. It was actually really a lot of fun, and I think that's what really got me hooked. The story at the very beginning made the game feel kind of slow, but wow, what a turning point it took there in that battle. You know, but if anybody, you guys like, I almost wanted to call this like a mayhem role-playing game, you know, like, it's absolutely an insane game. I don't want to give too much away like with the storyline or anything like that, but I know, I guess you could say it's your typical Mr. Nobody to, like, basically your zero to hero, you know what I mean? Ends up finding out that he's the chosen one. It's basically what I'm gathering from that, like, if you want to go with the base storyline, you know? Like any typical storyline. You know? Zero to hero. Ends up being the savior. Right? But yeah, really hope to get into playing that some more. I suggested if anybody else found that game like slightly interesting, play it. Definitely play it. You got PlayStation Plus, and that's a free game for you. And you got a PlayStation 5, download it. Download it. Try it out, man. Give it up to basically where I got up to in that first video, and that was about an hour. I swear you'll be hooked. You will be hooked. You will be like, oh man, I gotta keep playing this. I wanted to keep playing, but I had other IRL stuff to do. You know what I mean? Can't keep. To be honest, I understand where a lot of YouTubers. I don't necessarily watch these YouTubers. There's been a couple, there's like this one YouTuber a few months ago at least, he ended up saying that he was going to take a break from YouTube, kind of like leaving YouTube, and nice goal. He posted like every single day, and he's like, it was really difficult on my mind, and never really got to spend a lot of time with the family and stuff, so I totally understand that and get it now. But with that being said, everybody, please, if you do appreciate and like this content, please, I would really appreciate you guys hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, or if you've watched a couple of my videos and you like them, please consider hitting the subscribe button. That would be much appreciated and help me on my journey to 500 subscribers. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys next time. Until then, take care.